Hey, Khabib, thanks for doing this today. Let me start with, Dustin Poirier. Obviously, he's been on an incredible run lately, but in your opinion, what makes Dustin a tough matchup? What makes him a tough opponent in this fight?
I think I agree with you. He have very good win streak. He beat a lot of good guys. He beat like last fight. He beat very tough opponent, Max Holloway. And I think he deserves this. And what makes him tough opponent, I think his experience. I think he has a good experience. Even if he lose couple times in UFC, he has good experience. He have like 20 or more than 20 fights in UFC. And he have very big fights before. He fought with tough opponents, and I think it's about experience. This is my opinion.
Your last fight, Khabib, everyone knows you had a very personal grudge with Conor McGregor. With you and Dustin, there's a lot of respect. He's not said a bad word about you. I don't think there's any bad blood. Do you prefer a fight like this where things aren't as personal, where things don't get as personal?
I think like this sport, like mixed martial arts, this is all about respect. We have to respect each other. Like even if you don't like your opponent, you have to respect him. Because this is very tough sport, unforgivable sport, and like you have family, your opponent has family. A lot of people watch on you guys. A lot of kids watch on you, and that's why you have to be respect. This is very important, and. Like my last fight, it was like a little bit crazy and tough fight. But now I have opponent, I want to show respect too, and all about respect. That's why we show both we show respect. But when cage close, it's gonna be very good high level matchup in lightweight division, And this right now is like most important fight in lightweight division because he interim champion, I'm world champ, and we have to fight, and it's gonna be high level fight. Even if we respect each other, when we go to the cage, we both understand who is enemy inside the cage.
Khabib, you are the lightweight champion, 27-0 in your career, and right now you're number 2 in the pound-for-pound rankings in the sport. Does something like that matter to you? I know your teammate Daniel Cormier talked a lot about it. And some fighters, it matters a lot to them to be considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. Is that something that matters to you or something you think about?
Honestly, like if you fight it, you have to be like, I want to become best fighter in the world. I want to become pound-for-pound number 1. You have to worry about this. You have to think like this. But I don't care about this. I just focus on my every single opponent, and that's why I'm here. I'm almost on the top, pound for pound, and this fight is nothing changed. I'm focused on my opponent. Of course, who knows? Maybe next week, next Saturday, I'm gonna finish Dustin Poirier, and maybe I'm gonna become pound-for-pound number 1 fighter. Who knows? Nobody knows.
And last question, Khabib. I know your focus is 100% on Dustin Poirier, but I have to ask, if you are victorious, move to 28-0 next weekend, who do you believe is next in line for the title shot? Do you believe it's Tony Ferguson? Is that the fight that would make the most sense in terms of your next title defense? Who deserves the next title shot?
Oh, here is only Tony Ferguson, of course. I think he deserves. Who is else? Nobody. Only Tony Ferguson, I think.
Thank you, Khabib.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, if you find that your question has been answered, you may remove yourself from the queue by pressing star 2. And if you would like to queue up for a question, press star 1. We will take our next question from Mark Raimondi from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Hey, Khabib, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for taking the time out. I appreciate it. I just wanted to ask you quick about your traditional Dagestani headdress that you wear, your papaha. how proud does it make you to kind of bring Dagestan culture to the world? Because I've kind of almost become, world renowned now because you wear it so often.
It's honor to me to represent my traditional headgear around the world, my culture, my history, because Pakistan has very big history, very big culture, and it's an honor to me, because I have opportunity. A lot of people know me, and I want people know where I'm from, and, I want to show, people, Dagestan culture, Dagestan history, because we have very big history in Dagestan, and, if I have opportunity, why not? Why not?
I know that you didn't start wearing the papaha until your first UFC fight in 2012. Why did you ultimately decide to do it, and are you glad that you made the choice to wear it so often?
Why I wear this? Yes.
Yeah, because I know you didn't wear it earlier on in your career, only until you got to the UFC. So why did you decide to do it, and are you happy that you've now done it?
Yeah, but before, I didn't have a nickname too. When I signed with UFC, my manager told me, "Hey, you need nickname because your name is a little bit hard for American people, and you need something for friends remember you." Then my friends told me, "Hey, why not? Maybe you're gonna wear papaha, and because this is our culture, and because UFC is very big stage, and you can, very big platform, you can show around the world our culture, and why I bring nickname Eagle, because Eagle is a symbol from Pakistan, and that's why. And I just try to show, I just try to use this big platform, and I think I'm very success on this, because last more than 7 years I use this platform with my papaha, and 7 years, more than 7 years, I keep undefeated. Now I'm undefeated and undisputed UFC lightweight champion, and now everybody know about papaha, everybody know about Dagestan, where I'm from. A lot of people know about Dagestan culture, history, and where this region, and I think my plan is working.
And then just last thing from me, Dagestan has a long history of warriors, of fighters. Do you feel like you are kind of carrying on that legacy of the Dagestani warrior?
I think yes, we have big history. Now. I think I feel I am part of the Dagestan history, but I don't know now. I think after 20, maybe 40, maybe 50 years later, people gonna understand what I did. Right now, maybe no. I think in future, people gonna remember my name, because I don't think I did great job, but I don't I feel I do not bad job for all Dagestan region.
Thank you, Khabib. Appreciate it. Good luck next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will take our next question from Nolan King from MMA Junkie. Please go ahead.
Hey, Khabib. I really appreciate you taking the time out today. First thing for me, fighting in Abu Dhabi, obviously a very large Muslim population there. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting on the walkout when you make your walk next Saturday?
Honestly, I don't know, because all the time when I fight in UFC, I didn't have almost 100% support in the stadium. But right now, I think I'm gonna feel this, because I feel this is my area. This is not the Emporia area. These people don't come to watch fight because of Dustin. These people come because of me, and that's why I feel I'm gonna have big support from my friends here in Middle East. A lot of people gonna come from USSR countries, Russia, from Dagestan, from the Arabic countries. A lot of people gonna come support me, and thank you so much for them. And I can't wait. I'm very excited about this feeling. And I think it's gonna be my night, inshallah.
And something else that's unique about this event is it's a day. It's streamed in the day here in the United States on pay-per-view. The UFC has been hesitant about putting big stars on pay-per-views overseas in Europe and in Russia. Do you feel like with this card happening, with you headlining a show that streams in the United States during the day, that it opens up the door for a potential title defense in Russia down the line?
I don't know. It's a little bit hard question for me. We have to watch it because long time UFC didn't make pay-per-view show in this region, in Abu Dhabi, in this region. This is a little bit hard question, but we'll see. I think UFC want to watch too, like about numbers, because everything about numbers, and they're gonna watch, they're gonna check, and I think they're gonna check. But we'll see now because right now pay-per-view is working a little bit different, and it's big question. No, big question. If me and Dustin show like maybe like 700 or 600 thousand pay-per-view, it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. We'll see. For me, it's interesting too how much pay-per-view we're gonna show.
Sure thing. And last question for me. We're in an era where a lot of champions, as soon as they win their belt, they already start talking about moving divisions, super fights, and whatnot. While you've welcomed all comers, leading up to since you've won the belt, do you feel like you have a certain obligation to defend your title before you make any types of switches like that?
I think if you want to improve your legacy, like change your weight classes, I don't think this is help for you. Only one thing helps for you. You have to beat tough opponents, and and what about when you beat tough opponents and you still undefeated more than 11 years? And I think this one can improve your legacy. And if you lose couple times in UFC and you win one title, second title, then you lose again. Even if you win 3 titles, this is not to make you great. My opinion, when you're undefeated long time, and when you never lose, and this one is real thing. This is my opinion, and doesn't matter what people think. Like doesn't matter what they want. When you go to the cage and again you win, they have to talk about this guy is best, and I don't focus on welterweight or featherweight. My focus in lightweight division. I'm a real lightweight, and my fight is gonna be in lightweight division. I don't want to change any weight classes. I want to focus on my weight division.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, Khabib.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Jay Adams from Stadium Network. Please go ahead.
Taking the time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Khabib, you and Poirier have a common opponent, actually 2 common opponents, Michael Johnson and Conor McGregor. How much stock do you put in the fact that you're able to stop both those guys, and both those guys were able to finish Poirier via punches? How much of that do you weigh when you're handicapping, when you're studying tape? How heavy a factor is that for you?
Honestly, I don't think about this, because after this fight, Poirier improved a lot. Now I think he's a completely different fighter, and this is striking matchup versus Poirier versus Michael Johnson and Conor versus Poirier. It was striking match. Okay, if Poirier catch him, Poirier can knock them out. If these guys catch him, like anything can happen. But me versus Torres is a completely different matchup because I'm not going to stand with him, and he knows this. And you know, right now Torres a completely different fighter, you know, and I don't think about all this fight.
If I may follow up, with so many wins and no losses, in other sports with other athletes, they can become complacent. What do you do to avoid becoming complacent? How do you maintain your intensity?
I just stay focused, you know, train always hard, and and I don't know, I have inside this, you know, like if you don't have this is very hard to find, you know. I have inside this fire. I am very competitive, you know. I want to fight with best guys in the world, and that's why I'm here. If I feel I don't wanna more compete, I'm gonna finish, you know. Right now, I feel this hungry. I feel this motivation, this fire, and that's why I stay focused, you know. And everything about your inside, what you feel. If you feel like you wanna compete with all these fighters, and you can, why not? And I want to stay busy. I want to stay hungry. I want to stay focused, humble. This is the key.
One last question for me, and thank you, Khabib. Would you say, given the level of opponent that Dustin has had up till now, and with he really seems to be ripening at just the right time, and it seems, you know, you hear that old adage, my time has come. He seems to really be peaking right around now. Would it be safe to say this will be your toughest challenger to date?
Like right now, when I watch Dustin Poirier, I think it's gonna be my toughest challenge. I always think like this. Even when I fight with Baron Coacher, I think, okay, this guy is my toughest challenge. You know, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to underestimate this guy. You know, like people. I think a lot of people underestimate his ground game. I think he has good ground game, like Dustin, and he has good grappling. You know, like a little bit old school style, but he's no bad in underground. He's no bad on feet. He's kicking, his knee, he's punching. You know, his footwork. He's very good fighter. You know, I think it's gonna be a very tough fight for me. You know. And I'm ready for this, like almost 100 days. Last 100 days, I trained so hard for this fight. Now I have 1 week before the fight, and I'm still focused. And you know, we're almost there. You know, the fight is around the corner, and I'm very focused on Dustin Poirier. You know, I'm not underestimating this guy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We will take our next question from Jeffrey Harris from 411 Mania MMA. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you, Khabib, for joining us today. I really appreciate the time. Are there any concerns at all over the travel arrangements for Abu Dhabi and dealing with the heat and the temperature at all?
No, you know, before I come here, a lot of times, you know, I feel, I can feel this temperature, climate is different, you know. That's why I come here almost 20 days before the fight. That's why, you know, right now, almost 10 days I'm here, feel great. My jet lag is finished. My weight is good. I feel very good energy, you know. And I love this place, you know. I love this place, and I can't wait to show for this place. Very good show next Saturday.
Khabib, are you excited to come back because there was the suspension issue? So does it make you more excited to come back and prove to the world what a great champion you are?
Yes, of course. I'm very excited about my comeback. Honestly, my plan was after a sober fight. My plan was I really want to fight in April, and everybody knows what happened. But right now it's like September. Okay, it's not bad. But before I show you guys how I come back after 3 surgery in a row. But right now it's like all this year I stay busy, I stay training, I stay focused, hungry, and my shape is very good right now, alhamdulillah. And I'm gonna show good performance next Saturday.
And last question for Khabib, since Conor McGregor is on ESPN making noise about not being retired anymore, in April of last year, he and his entourage did try to attack you on that bus. Is there ever any concern that he and his entourage might come after you again and try to assault you in a bus or something like that again?
Honestly, I don't understand what you ask about. But this guy, like when he won last time, why we keep talking about this guy? This guy don't win more than 3 years, We keep talking about this guy. I don't want to talk about him. We have Dustin Poirier. We have a lot of stuff. Please, let's talk about real stuff.
We will take our next question from Sergio Gomez from Diario MMA. Please go ahead.
Hi, Khabib. How are you doing? Thank you for taking the time to do this. I was wondering, how special does it feel to finally have your father on the corner with you while you are the champion?
This is very important for me. Finally, my father is on the corner with me. I'm very excited about this. I feel how my father is excited about this. So, it's going to be great night for us, my father and Coach Javier. Very good mix, 2 great coaches, and I think with these 2 guys, I have to show. This is very important, and next Saturday I can take.
Okay, does it feel any more pressure on you for having your father there, plus having the support of the whole arena? Because, like you mentioned, probably Dustin is not very popular around there. Does that make you feel any more pressure?
Yeah, a little bit pressure. I feel good energy. And same time I feel pressure. And father all the time give me good energy, because he's not only my coach, he is my father, first of all, And I feel a little bit pressure, and at the same time I feel great energy, And we'll see. If I say I don't feel pressure, it's not true, Of course I feel pressure. I don't make upset my father, First time he's gonna be calling me, and very exciting and very important time for me.
Okay, then finally, what does it feel to have also your teammates that were suspended being able to fight on the same card as you?
Yes, Islam Makhachev fight. He has very good fights. I think very interesting fight for fans. David Ramos, the ADCC champion. He has 4 win streak. In the lightweight division, Islam with 5 win streak. These 2 guys, I think they deserve be in top 15, top 10. These 2 very tough guys in the lightweight division, and they're gonna fight. This is for me is like the most interesting fight in this card. And comeback, Zubaira to Hugo gonna come back versus undefeated fighter from I think England, and it's gonna be very interesting for me too, and very exciting for me, because when you're 2 real close brothers fighting, of course it's a little bit, and this is giving a little bit pressure, but I hope they're gonna give me good energy before my fight. They're gonna win, inshallah, and then I'm gonna do my job like I do always, inshallah. And this is the plan. When we go to the cage, we all have same goal. We have to win.
Okay, thank you, Khabib, so much. Good luck on September 7th.